The objective of this lesson is to help you understand the concept of libraries in the Arduino IDE, their importance in simplifying code, and how to install and manage them properly. This will set the foundation for working with more complex components, like sensors in display, by leveraging the power of libraries. Now, what are libraries? In Arduino programming, libraries are collections of pre-written code that make it easier to implement functionality without starting from scratch. Instead of reinventing the wheel, libraries handle the low-level operations, allowing you to focus on the logic of your program. For example, a library will handle the communication with the display, so that you don't have to write low-level code that interacts with the display controller. Also, there is no need to manually write code to connect to a network. There's a Wi-Fi library that takes care of this task. In short, libraries allow you to focus on your project rather than the intricate details of hardware. The Library Manager is a key feature in the Arduino IDE. It is a repository of libraries, allowing you to easily search, install, and manage libraries for your project. You can easily access the Library Manager by either going into Tools and Manage Libraries or clicking on the side panel. At the top of the Library Manager window, you will see a search bar. For example, if you want to control a TFT display, you might want to search for the TFT ESPI library. When you find the library that you need, click on it and an install button will appear. Simply click the button to install the library into your Arduino environment. You'll then be able to use the library in your code by including it in your sketch. This process saves you from manually downloading and placing the libraries into your Arduino folder, streamlining the process. Once you have installed your necessary libraries, you can include them in your sketches using the #include directive at the top of your code. This tells the compiler to pull in the library and its associated functions. As an example of how libraries work, we will be writing a simple code that initializes the TFT display and displays a simple text on it. Once you have included the TFT library, we can start coding. First of all, we're going to have to create a TFT object. This is done by calling the library and creating the TFT object. Do not forget the semicolon at the end. Now that all of our objects were created and all of the libraries included, we can start working on the setup of the code. And here we will start by initializing the display. This is done by the function tft_init from initialize. And then we're also going to document this. Then we need to make sure that the screen is clear. We're doing this by filling the background with black. This is done by employing the function fillScreen. With a capital S, very important. This will take one parameter, and that is the color that you want to fill the screen with.
No.
We'll also be documenting this. Now, in order to be able to write text, we need to set a color for it. We're going to be doing this by employing the function setTextColor. The first parameter will be the color of the text. This will be white. The second parameter will be the color of the background of the text, which in our case will be black. Now that we have initialized the display, cleared it, and set a font color, we can put in the text that we want printed. This is done by employing the function tft_drawString. This will take multiple parameters, starting with the string that you want printed. Followed along with the coordinates of the text. In our case, it will be 10 pixels from the top, 20 pixels from the left, and the font will be size 4, which is a preset size. We will of course be documenting all of this. The reason why we document the code is so we know what function does what when debugging or reading the documentation. With just a few lines of code, the library allows you to control the display by initializing it, setting colors, clearing it, and printing text. This was done without needing to understand the internal workings of the display controller. Now, let's test our code. I'm going to upload it directly to the board. As you can see, it says welcome on the TTGO display. Managing libraries properly ensures that your project remains functional and up to date. From time to time, you might need to update your libraries to ensure functionality with the Arduino IDE. This will also allow access to improved features. In the library manager, you can see if there's a new update available for the library in use. If you ever need to remove a library, you can uninstall it from the library manager. Occasionally, you might need to install a library that is not present in the library manager. In such cases, you can download the library files, usually a zip file, and include it into Sketch, Manage Libraries, and Add Library. Some common issues with libraries include a library not found error. If you receive an error that a library cannot be found, double check that you installed it correctly via the library manager and check that the include statement is spelled correctly. Sometimes multiple versions of the same library can cause conflicts. You can resolve this by uninstalling previous versions or specifying which version you want to use in the library manager. Some libraries are dependent on specific board versions or Arduino IDE versions. Always check the documentation to ensure that the library version is compatible with your setup. This lesson introduced you to the concept of libraries in the Arduino IDE. Libraries are powerful tools that save time and reduce complexity by providing ready-made functions for hardware components and more. You now know how to search, install, and manage libraries in your sketches using the Arduino IDE Library Manager. In future lessons, we will explore how to use specific libraries for working with hardware such as sensors and displays. Understanding how to manage libraries will enable you to seamlessly incorporate more advanced features into your IoT projects. This process oh my god, why? No! I have to go through this again? F***ing bitch. 17 minutes, yeah. If you need to uninstall it, you can uninstall it. Who the f*** wrote this script? I'm never finishing this project.